Long ago, in a quiet village surrounded by rolling green hills, lived a poor but hardworking farmer named Kwame. Every day before the sun rose, Kwame walked to his small farm with his hoe resting on his shoulder. Though his land was small and his harvest often modest, he was grateful for what he had. At home, his wife Akua would prepare simple meals, and together they lived a humble but peaceful life. One warm morning, while Kwame was tilling the soil, his hoe struck something hard beneath the earth. Clink! Kwame stopped and wiped the sweat from his brow. What could that be? He wondered. Curious, he knelt down and began digging carefully. Soon his hands uncovered a small leather bag tied with an old rope. The bag looked ancient, as though it had been buried for many years. Kwame untied the rope and opened the bag. His eyes widened. Inside were dozens of shining gold coins. Kwame's heart began to race. Gold, he whispered. He quickly tied the bag shut, looked around to be sure no one had seen him, and hurried home as fast as his legs could carry him. When he reached the house, he burst through the door. "Akua! Akua!" he called excitedly. His wife looked up from the cooking fire. "What is it, Kwame? Why are you breathing like you ran from a lion?" Kwame placed the bag on the table and opened it. The gold coins sparkled in the dim light. Akua gasped. "Where did you get this?" "I found it buried in the field," Kwame replied proudly. "Maybe the ancestors have blessed us," Akua frowned thoughtfully. "But what if the coins belong to someone else?" Kwame shrugged. "No one has claimed them for years. Perhaps they were meant for us." As they talked, their neighbor Kofi happened to be passing by the house. Kofi was known in the village for being clever but also greedy. Through the open window, he overheard their voices. "Gold coins," he thought. Quietly, he leaned closer and listened. A sly smile spread across his face. That evening, Kofi visited Kwame. "My friend," Kofi said warmly, pretending kindness, "I heard about your discovery." Kwame hesitated. "Well, yes." Kofi leaned closer and lowered his voice. "I know a merchant in the city who buys gold coins. He pays very well. Let me help you sell them, and we can split the money." Kwame shook his head. "No, the coins belong to my family. I will decide what to do with them." Kofi forced a smile, but inside he was angry. "If you won't share," Kofi thought, "I will take them myself." That night, while the village slept, Kofi crept quietly toward Kwame's house. The moon hid behind dark clouds, making the night perfect for stealing. Slowly, he pushed open the door. Inside, he found the leather bag resting on the table. Grinning, Kofi grabbed it and slipped back into the darkness. But just as he reached the edge of the village, Kwame woke up and noticed the bag was gone. "Akua!" he shouted, "the gold!" Realizing what had happened, Kwame ran outside and spotted Kofi running toward the forest. "Thief! Stop!" Kwame shouted as he chased after him. The two men ran through the tall grass and between the trees. Kofi ran faster and faster, clutching the bag tightly. But in his haste, he tripped over a tree root. He fell hard to the ground. The bag burst open. Gold coins scattered everywhere, rolling across the forest floor. As the two men stared at the coins, a calm voice spoke from behind them. "Greed always leads to loss." They turned and saw a wise old man standing beneath a large tree. His long white beard moved gently in the wind. "Who are you?" Kwame asked. The old man walked slowly toward the coins. "These coins," he said, "were never meant to make anyone rich." Kofi looked confused. "What do you mean?" The old man smiled. "They were cursed long ago. Anyone who seeks them with greed will lose everything." Just then, several villagers arrived. Having heard the shouting, they quickly realized what Kofi had done. Ashamed and defeated, Kofi was taken back to the village to face the elders. As for the coins, they mysteriously disappeared into the soil as if the earth itself had swallowed them. Kwame returned home empty-handed. Akua gently held his hand. "Perhaps it is for the best," she said. Kwame nodded. "You are right. True wealth is not gold. It is the land we work and the family we love." Years passed. Kwame continued to farm his land with honesty and patience. His crops grew stronger each season, and soon his farm became one of the most prosperous in the village. One evening, as the sun set over the hills, the same wise old man appeared again at the edge of Kwame's field. In his hands was another leather bag. Kwame approached him carefully. The old man placed the bag in Kwame's hands. Inside were gold coins, real ones. This time, the old man said kindly, "They are not cursed. They are a reward for learning the lesson. Kwame smiled softly. I understand now, he said. The greatest treasure is kindness and wisdom. And from that day on, Kwame used the gold not just for himself, but to help others in the village, proving that true gold shines brightest in a generous heart.